Hey, hello guys, welcome to the mobile development class again. It's nice to have you guys here. So let's just continue from where we stopped in the last video. So in today's class, we are going to be implementing the page for the jokes, right? So we work on tab 1, all right, for the home page, right? So we're going to be working on the jokes part, right? So but before we do that, let's run the code that we did last time, right? So like if you're like me, you just open Visual Studio Code, you don't have your terminal down here, so you just go all the way up, right? So you open your terminal and it's loading. You check something, it's loading. Okay, good. All right, so we have our terminal down here. Okay, so you remember to make sure that the directory of like the phone app is in here, right? So if not, you have to change the directory to where your app is. Cool. So to run our app, it's Ionic Serve, right? Oh, I don't know. Okay. Ionic Serve, right? So this again will launch our app in the browser, right? So make sure that before you run it, maybe you just open a Google Chrome page somewhere, right? And when this is done loading, it's gonna load our app up here. Very nice and clean. It depends on the speed of your system actually, right? So now, like my Mac is pretty fast. So yeah, okay. So it will load up this. Okay, so see, it's kind of big and weird, right? So you right click on anywhere, then you go to inspect. So that's where, so if yours is not showing this mobile view, you have to click on this, right? So you see this is big, but if you click on it, right, so iPhone 14, that's what we're going to be using. You see how big it is. All right, so this is what we did last time, this home page, right? So what we want to do is this tab 2 page, right? And we want to make it the jokes page, right? So when someone goes to this tab, it should show some list of, yeah, maybe we should do that jokes, right? That jokes. Yeah, hopefully it should not be bad, right? But yeah, it should be good. Okay, so we're gonna do that jokes. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is go to that tab 2, right? So the tab 2 is right here. Okay, so let's go to the HTML down here, tab 2.page.html, right? The first thing that we need to do, this title right here, so let's call this actually that jokes. Okay, then we need to delete all of this. Make sure that you delete exactly what I'm deleting. Okay, so we should have like a very nice empty page with nothing in there, right? So, and one thing that I think that we should do is you see this up tab here, I think we should make it color blue or something, right? So let's do that. Yeah, to make it really nice, so that this color here will be the same color of this. So the first thing that we need to do is to go in here, oh no, to go to tab 2.css, right? So I created something already. Let me see if I can. It's just a very simple CSS code, right? So I say make my background color this, right? So this color, where how I found it, right? I mean, you can make it any color, but how I found it to make sure that the color will be the same as this color is if you're curious, right? So you go to global.css. No. Is it? No. You go to let me see. Yeah, variable dot css, right? Where you see primary, right? So just copy this. But I think you should you should be good just using this, okay? So the next thing that we need to do, because this is a class, right? So we need to apply it to our header, right? So you just come here and say class is equal to that, right? So that should change this to blue. Then we'll probably do the same thing for the home later, but let's just, okay, cool. All right, so the next thing that we need to do, we need to change this tab to that jokes, right? To change that, you remember it's gonna be in the tabs page, which is this guy, right? Then you go to tabs page.html. This is, yeah, this guy. So you come here, so call this that jokes. Oops. Let's see. Every time you make any changes, you have to come back to that jokes, okay? So then you see this, we need to change it to joke, so to something fun like this icon, right? So I will change it to, so I think it's funny. Hopefully that works. No, it's not funny. Let me see what I use. I think it was let me get it where I used it. Yeah, it was happy, and I will show you where I get that from real quick. So if you put happy, you should have a happy face. Okay, so there is a place. If you go to ionic.io slash ion icons, right? So you see different icons in here, right? So the one that I just put in there, so if you search for it, happy, and you click on it, then you can see the name of it, right? So you can be creative and look for, so if you see anyone that you want to use, just click on it, then you will see this thing. You can copy the whole thing, right? Then you just replace it with the whole line, or just copy the name, right? So like for example, the name of this one is code working, then you put it in your code, like just put it in here, right? But we'll just be using happy, okay? So that's nice, okay, that's good. So everything is looking nice. So but now we need to populate our jokes, our dad jokes in here, okay? So you guys remember that we use Ionic cards and I think grid for this one, right? So for this one we'll be using something different. So you remember our Ionic framework.docs.api. So we're going to be using something called accordion, right, for this. So it's going to be something like this that you can, so like this one will be the title of the joke. Then when you click on it, then you see details of the joke. That's the plan, right? And it's called Ionic Accordion, and the link is this. I'll put the link in the description too, right? So you just click on this, then you have all of this. So what we need to do, let's just copy all of this for now. Just copy all of that. You can highlight it or just click copy, right? Then you are good. Then let's carefully go to page 2, and in here press this and you do this. So you see it created 3 accordions for us. So let's see how that looks in here. See, just copy and paste, see, and everything looks nice. All right, so we have everything in here, right? So but now we need to, these are not like that jokes, of course, right? So we need to get the real jokes so that we can use it to replace all of these things that we have in here. So how we are going to do that? So the first thing that we need to do is, so the jokes, we can do it in a way that we can get the jokes online, like in real time, right? So that means if you don't have internet, right, you won't be able to get the jokes, right? And the code to actually get the jokes from internet, might be difficult, right? Because like this we are just starting up, right? This class. So what I will do is we're going to get the jokes online, we're going to download it, and we're going to put it in our app, and we're going to use it, right? So that way anyone with internet or with no internet would be able to use it, and it's going to be very easy to code, right? So there is a website that has some jokes. I think it's like 88 that jokes, alright? So all you have to do, see this link, hopefully uh it's big enough, right? So but again, I'll put it in the description, right? So but you can see it's just https colon double slash github, right? Or this link, right? So just paste it in your browser and you press enter, then you see this, right? You see all of this, okay? Or if you don't see it, don't just click on this JSON jokes.json, right? So all we need to do, we are not going to copy it, but we're going to download it, all right? So you click on download, right? So we download it, then again it's going to be in our download folder or anywhere your own folder is, right? So and you remember the same thing that we did. So you remember we put all the images in the asset folder, right? So we're going to go to our download. So this is it. So just copy it, right? So then our asset folder, if you don't remember where your asset folder is, right, just come to Visual Studio Code, right? Go and see asset, then you right click on it. Let's see. Right click on it and say reveal in Finder if you're on Mac, and reveal in File Explorer if you're on Windows, right? And it will take you here, right? And you just have to click on this. So after you copy it, then just paste your jokes. So wait, give me a second. Oh yeah, I'm not in the right directory, that's why. So my assets, so I paste it. Okay, good. So jokes is in there. So when I look at my assets in here, there's joke. Good. All right, nice. So now we have the jokes, right? And if you open it, you see it's just bunch of things. All right, then we need to make it look nice in here, right? So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So the first thing that we're gonna do is, so I want you guys to open it because before we can use that JSON jokes file, right, we need to do something, right? So I want you guys to scroll down and look for a file called tfconfig.json. This one, not this one, right? tfconfig.json, right? Open it. This one, please. Make sure that you open the right one, okay? Then go to this line here, then you press enter, right? Then I want you guys to type this. I'll just copy and paste, then you can pause the video and type it, okay? So I want you to make sure that you get it. If you get the spelling wrong, there will be error, right? And you see some things are capitalized, like some letters are capitalized, some are not, right? So make sure that you do the same exact thing so that you don't get errors, okay? So tsconfig.json, put all of this, so that this one is what we need to put so that we can use JSON file directly in our app, okay? So hopefully you guys are able to get that. See when you paste that in there. So for example, if I miss this, you see it's gonna give me error, right? Make sure that you put everything in there. So now that you are done with that, so let's close this. So now let's go back to our page, tab2.page.html, right in here. So we now need to go to this guy, tab2.page.ts. this we're going to be writing some nice codes. Okay, so now we need to import, because we have our jokes in here, but we need to import it like in here, right? So to do that, this is what we're going to use. So we're going to type this and I will explain this. So it says import joke data. So this one is just a variable name. You can call it anything, but I advise that you call it joke data because we're still going to use the name, right? Joke data from, right, dash 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 that asset. So we are saying that everything that's inside this JSON file, put it inside this joke data. That's what we're trying to say, right? And for us to get access to where JSON is, we need to do dot dot forward slash dot dot forward slash asset and all of that, right? So make sure that you do this and you can see exactly this, that there's no error, right? If you make any mistake or you do something wrong, see, like to give you errors, right? Make sure that you do the right thing. Okay, so we're going to create a variable. The variable that we're going to create is the one that we're going to use on our page, right? So now that we imported the jokes inside this guy, so we need to put that data inside a variable, right? So let's call the variable. So to create a variable in type, so like this is called TypeScript. Okay, like this like the language that we use for this is called TypeScript. So let's call our variable name jokes, and the type is any, right? So that means this means that we have a variable jokes that can either be numbers, array, list, or anything, right? That's what this one is saying. Okay, so here we can actually just make in here okay, so let's do this. And you just type this, okay? So this is a function. So Ionic view will enter. So like this one is saying that when the our app is loading, then do this, right? So when our app loads, set our joke to be equal to joke data. So this one will be this, that's joke actually. Okay, so it's simple as that, right? So we can even check if this is right. So we can do something called, if you want to print in here, in Python you will say print, right? In TypeScript you will say console.log, right? This one we don't need it, but it's just to check that everything that we did is fine, right? So if everything is fine, this joke data, we copy the data from our JSON, right? Then when we load our view, the joke data will go inside this variable, and when we print this variable, we'll see the joke data. Okay, so you see, this is all the joke data, right? Like everything. So we have 87 jokes. Okay, so now that we have the jokes in here, how do we display it in here? All right, that's gonna be fun. You see, it's very easy, but I'll show you guys. All right, so the first thing that we need to do here, so you see that we have 3 of these, 1 2 3. So let's limit it to 1, right? So that means from where it says second, highlight everything up to this. Make sure that you don't go all the way down to the group. Delete this. So let's first check it out. So we should have just 1. Good, 1, right? So in here we're gonna write one interesting code. I will write it in there and I will explain it to you guys. So there's something called like you know a for loop, right? If you've done my Python class, you know like for loop is what you use to look through like, or like, you know, go through a list of things, right? So we have a list of jokes and we want to go through it, so we use something called ng4, right, which is used in Angular, right? So what this will do is it will iterate through all the jokes, and for each one it will put the value inside joke, right? So we won't see anything interesting for now, so it's still gonna be jokes like first Accordion, right? But so if you want to fill something in here, so the jokes that we have, so we have each jokes have a name and joke. So in here we'll do something like this. Make sure you do exactly the same thing, and inside here, so just say joke.name, because that's the name, right? So then you can copy and paste. Then you copy this, then you paste it in here. Oops, I did something wrong. You know what, don't let me copy. Don't let me be lazy. So this one, joke dot, right? It's joke, right? Joke dot joke. So ready for magic. See, these are all our jokes. These are the titles, and if you click on it, then you see the details. Let's see, maybe there's one joke. This one says, my day, the rotation of Earth really makes my day. Okay. Chicken can't drive. Why do chicken cooks only have two doors? Because if they had four, they would be chicken sedans. Okay. Okay, that makes sense a little bit. Yeah, so these are all the jokes, right? I mean, like, the jokes might not really make sense to you, but they are dad jokes, right? Because we are building our app for people to use, right? So people that this joke will make sense to, or they will understand it, they will download your app, right? You know, like, some of the jokes might be difficult to understand, right? But that's the point, right? That, you know, we're able to get our jokes from a JSON file in here, and we were able to put it in our code using this, right? And so this one, we probably don't need this one anymore. We don't need to print it anymore, right? So but there is one more thing that I want us to do, right? So you see, each time people come to this page, they have to scroll down to get new jokes and all of that, right? You know, it might be boring. So what can we do it such a way that each time you come to this page, it will randomize the jokes such a way that what you see first will change, like, you know. So like, once you come to this page, you always see new jokes that are maybe like the top 5 will be new, something like that. So like, to kind of like, even though we have a list of jokes that is like only like 88, right? But we can shuffle it. That's the word. Like, we'll shuffle the joke, so that each time people come to this page, they will be able, like the first joke that they will see in here will be different, right? So it will not be boring that every time you come to this app, the first thing that you see is ashes, right? So the code is kind of interesting, but we are going to write it. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So I'll be copying the code line by line for you guys, so that you don't get overwhelmed. So the first thing we're going to write, so this one, let's comment this one out for now. So let's write this. So this one says, let current index be equal to joke data dot length, then comma, the random index, then this. Okay, so No, let me write this so that you guys don't make mistakes. So while current index is greater than 0, oops, all right, so let's put a comment. Pick a random element. All right, so let's say random index is equal to math.floor. So then to get a math.random, make sure that you are doing exactly the same thing I'm doing current index. Then we'll end that. Then we'll say current index will be equal to current index minus 1. The better way to write this one, but we just leave it this way. So after that, we have and of swap it with the current element. Alright, so this one I'll copy and paste this one. That should be straightforward. Oh, let me see, am I missing something? Cannot be index. What do you mean cannot be index? Let me see. Oh, just because of that. I thought this thing, semicolon is not required. But anyways, yeah. So the error was because I didn't put semicolon in here. So then now come out of this follow. So down here, now say these jokes, which is our variable, will be equal to joke underscore data. And I think that should do the magic. So now, see, when we the first one is flamingo. When I come back, change it goes to monkey jokes. And when I come back, changes something like so. It's kind of random, right? So I mean, yeah, with time they will exhaust all the 88 jokes, but the point is, if they want to use the dark jokes for someone and they forget, they can always come to the app and say, oh yeah, let me copy this, joke, right, and tell someone about it, right? So I think this is a good spot to stop, right? So ideally, when you click on these like jokes, it will take you here, right? But we're gonna do that later, okay? Yeah. So let's just stop here. So we're able to implement our dad jokes page, right? And you know what? On our own page, let's change this to in here. Let's call it dad joke. I feel it won't overflow. Yeah, let's try that like this. Yes, that joke. Okay, cool. You click on it, but for now, you just click on the tab. You see different. Excited to know that was nothing I woke up exhausted. Counting cows. How do you count cows? A calculator. That one is really good. Okay. Alright, so I think that's the end of this video. Again, guys, please don't forget to subscribe, like my channel, share with people, and do all the good stuff, right? And with that, I think I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.